everyone. Today I have my hubby here and we are just going to talk about our experience that we had in the quarantine hotel when we came back from overseas a few months ago. I know the thumbnail and the title, I have to mention it. It's a bit of a clickbait, but come on, it was fun. Nothing like that happened. Yes, we did take those photos in quarantine just to, I don't know,
have fun.
Oh
no, that was when I started my Instagram.
Oh yeah, he started an Instagram if you want to go and follow him. What's your Instagram name?
Hungry.hasa.
Hungry.hasa, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so do you want to start by saying when we went? You don't have to say the exact dates, but come on. Okay.
End of March. Yeah. So since the beginning of April, we were there for 14 days, and we
were in quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah, we left. We were let go on the Sri Lankan New Year.
Yes, which is the 13th of April was when we got released from quarantine. He's not really good with storytelling, so I'll start.
Yeah.
So we went overseas. We had a trip planned to go to Sri Lanka for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then 2.5 weeks. And then about 5 nights. On our way back, we were going to go to Malaysia for about 5 nights. So that was going to be our... Stop. And my stomach is making a noise. That was going to be our whole trip. So about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. And we were going there for a couple of weddings that we had, and one of them had to cancel. And the other one we were able to attend to. So the first week we were there, it was fine. When we left, we did know about coronavirus, but it was just based in China at the time, wasn't it? And you know, just like SARS.
China and Italy. It was already in Italy.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh. So this was like the second week of March. So at that time it was just in China and Italy, and the rest of the world knew about it, but we weren't really like thinking, oh, it's gonna be this big deal. We've had SARS and we've had all these other pandemics or epidemics, I think, and nobody, like, it didn't spread worldwide, so we weren't really thinking. And at the time it was safe enough for us to actually just, you know, go through with our plan that we had. I mean, a lot of money was involved and bookings and this and that, so we just went.
We didn't have any restrictions either.
No, there were no restrictions whatsoever
for traveling.
Yeah, everything was fine at the time. So my family was supposed to go with us as well, but they postponed their trip. They said that they probably won't go, but we went. It was me, him and I, and our little toddler. So we went there, and then everything was fine. We attended the wedding. That was his cousin's, and we even went to the turtle, what is it, like a sanctuary, a conservatorium. And we were able to just, you know, meet a couple of friends, go to relatives' houses, and we were fine the first week. And we were also able to, we went to another one of his dad's family members who lived like further away, like a couple of hours drive. We were able to make that trip as well. And on the way back from that trip, we heard on the radio that tonight they're starting a curfew, and then everything went downhill from that. That was literally the end of first week, right? Yeah. And after that it was just crazy. So we were in lockdown in Sri Lanka for so long, and we were trying to get flights out, like we were trying to book early flights, and flights kept getting cancelled, and everything just went crazy after that. All the border restrictions and, you know, the lockdowns were happening, and it was really mad. So we canceled our Malaysia trip, canceled the hotels and the flights and all of that, and then we were literally at that point was trying to get a flight out from Colombo to come back to Brisbane.
Yeah.
And we had what, 3 flight cancellations?
Oh, Malaysia cancelled the whole service.
Yeah. So Malaysian Airlines wasn't flying anymore at all, and then
We had to buy a new ticket from Sri Lankan Airlines to get to Colombo to Melbourne.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, Colombo, Melbourne to Brisbane.
Yeah. So we
And that got delayed.
actually no, we
Twice.
were trying to come through Singapore.
Yeah, but then
Through Singapore Airlines, and then they stopped their services as well, and then so that we couldn't come with that. And then few days later was another flight, which was the Sri Lankan airline, which was the only flight that was going at the time, and we would just say, okay, fine, we'll just go to Melbourne, and then from Melbourne to Brisbane we'll take a domestic flight.
because at that time they were allowing the domestic flights.
Yeah, so the domestic borders were open and it was fine to fly interstate. So that was the plan. And then literally the day before we were supposed to fly out, our flight got cancelled. And they said that they're just going to combine all the passengers from several different flights, and then several different flights, and then put them into one flight because not a lot of people were traveling out anyway. So we waited like 4 more days, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which got us, how do you say, which made us unable to do the domestic flight.
Yeah, so within that 4 days that we were waiting, so much has changed. They introduced the quarantine hotels and they canceled all the interstate flights, and it was just crazy. So we were just like, you know what, let's just fly out of here and then deal with whatever that comes afterwards. So flew out from there and we landed in Melbourne, and it was really bizarre and crazy. Do you want to say what happened? So mind you, I was pregnant. So we found out I was pregnant on the 17th of March. So this was in the beginning of April. So I was few weeks into my pregnancy. I had morning sickness and I was bloated, and we had a toddler with us, and literally if it wasn't for him, we would not be able to make it. Like, it was so hard at the time. So we landed. Why? So we landed, and then, do you want to say what happened after we landed?
There's so much that I can't remember which one.
So they literally just kept
Oh,
us,
yeah.
kept us in the flight, and they
Yeah.
were
They wanted to check everyone.
yeah.
They took temperature, they took details, and they said, well, they didn't ask us anything. They just said, you are going to this quarantine. You're going to a quarantine hotel, and then you're going to stay there for 14 days, and we'll think of what happens next.
Yeah, like I tried telling them I'm pregnant, like, are we allowed to at least quarantine in Brisbane? Are we allowed to go? Because we already had the domestic flight booked, and it was nothing. Nobody was even willing to listen to anything that we had to say. We were just literally like pushed around and forced into all these lines, and then like, okay, get out from here, go see that person, sign this document, here's a bunch of papers and this and that. And they were just like, these are the last toilets you're gonna have, go do your business right here, because for the next few hours you won't be able to go to the toilet.
Yeah, we weren't.
And we weren't. I'm telling you, it was so hard. And so we were finally out of the airport, and then we were put in these tourist buses to go to the hotels that we were staying at. And we were staying in one of the Crown hotels.
Yeah, it's Crown
Was it
Plaza.
Crown Plaza? Yeah. We were in Crown Plaza in Melbourne City. And so we were in the bus. Now we got into the bus at like 4 p.m.
Probably, yeah.
because we landed around 2, I think. And so we were in the bus, and all the snacks that I had for Casper was running out. Like there was nothing else because he had eaten everything. And we were given some
Vitamins.
chocolates and water, um,
And some snack bars.
Yeah, some
there
snack
were
bar.
some snack bars.
and some biscuits or something. Yeah, so that's all. We were given like little packs of that and nothing else. No other food, nothing else. And we were stuck in that bus, literally in front of the hotel for like 3 hours.
Probably, yeah.
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 And it was way past Casper's bedtime. He was hungry. He was so crazy hungry. I was hungry and I was bloated like nobody's business, and it was just crazy, and it was just a bus full of people, and we were just waiting for authorities to figure out. Apparently one guy really wanted to have a smoke before he went in or something.
No, he had an issue because he can't smoke in his room.
Oh yeah. So that the hotel is a smoke-free indoors. So he had an issue with that, and everyone was held back. They were trying to sort out that issue. Anyway, after a lot of paperwork and blah blah blah, we were finally able to go in, and it was around 8:30 at night at this time. We went in and it was finally like, oh my gosh, we made it. It was a tiny little hotel room with like, it was fancy, I want to say. It was really good. It was luxury, and like it's similar to a hotel that we would book if we were actually going on vacation. So we were very comfortable, and they did give us a cot for like a travel cot for Casper as well. We had to just keep asking all these things, and then they finally just gave it to us. And yeah, so nothing really happened. Did they even check our temperature?
No, not once.
No,
they got there.
Yeah, they while we were in the hotel, like that night was rough, right? So we were asking for food, and we didn't get food until it was like close to 10 p.m. and our poor child was so hungry, but he was so happy that he was in a new place and a new hotel. He was rolling around the bed, having a jolly good time. But I was just mad. I just wanted to shower and go to bed. Like I was just so jet lagged. And then we finally got some food, and we were, it was edible, and we ate, and then that was the first day. From then onwards, for the next 13 days, it was, oh my God, it was so bad. So our typical day was like what? Wake up. Oh, the first few days, me and Casper couldn't adjust to the time difference.
Yeah, we slept till around 10, 11 in the morning.
Sometimes 12. Yeah. We both would just sleep, and then we wouldn't fall asleep until like 2 or 3 in the morning. So he'd be already asleep, and then me and Casper are just like talking, or he's just singing or whatever, and we would just fall asleep afterwards, and then we would sleep until like 11 a.m. and it was bad. So I told him we had to break the cycle. You have to wake us up. Like, I don't care if he's a toddler, whatever, just wake us up. If you wake up at 6, wake us up. And then we did that for like 3 days, and we finally adjusted to the time difference. My God, it was such a difficult thing. I would cry every night because I'm like, I can't fall asleep and you're snoring. Anyways, so the typical day, we would wake up, breakfast, they give us breakfast, we have breakfast, watch a bit of TV, and I don't know, go from the bathroom back to the room to the window, which is not like you can't open it. It was this giant glass that look out to the river, but you couldn't open it. No fresh air, nothing. Turn on the aircon, turn off the aircon, turn on the aircon, turn off the aircon, and that's it, And I am a very shy person. Even after being married for this long, I do not go to the toilet if he's around, but oh man, it was difficult adjusting to that because he was right there. I'd be like, turn on the TV, make it loud so I can go to the toilet. Please, let's not discuss.
I did not hear anything.
Yeah, thank God. Anyway, so, and it was such a difficult time. They didn't give us the nappies that we wanted. Casper has eczema and he gets a lot of nappy rash and things like that. They, like, even after asking, they kept giving us the newborn size for a 2-year-old, and we just like, no, we can't use these. And then whatever they give to us in the room, we had to keep it in the room. We can't give it back to them because they won't collect it. And we had like these giant garbage bags that to put everything, all the food and everything came in disposable containers and things like that. So we were able to like eat and then throw it out into the garbage bag. We had fruits to last for like a couple of months, oranges and apples and this and that, but that was the only good food that we got, literally. Do you want to talk about the food? Because I'm out of breath.
Something to talk about the food. The service was good. The place was good.
Yeah.
The food was not good.
Because the hotel
It's
wasn't
not
providing
good.
the food. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
And
was.
what? They took our dietary requirements at the airport, at the hotel, and they even called us twice and took it. And they still kept giving us, well, she got meat. She doesn't eat. She hasn't eaten meat for 6 years. She kept getting meat. I kept getting vegetarian. And
We would swap it. We'd be like,
yeah,
so, okay, do you want to eat this?
yes.
I'll eat that.
It worked that way. But
Uh-huh.
yeah.
But then we
Yeah.
said no Vegemite sandwiches for our toddler, and they only sent Vegemite sandwiches.
That's it too.
They sent 2, not just 1. 2 per meal for 3 meals a day, Vegemite sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yep. I ended up eating that because we don't give Casper jam or Vegemite because of like the sugar content and the sodium content. Like, I'm very careful of what we give him. And poor little guy was just eating like white rice and boiled eggs. It was terrible.
Oh, the eggs.
The
The
eggs.
cold, really cold frozen eggs.
It was hot. I swear they bulk boiled it the day before or the morning before. I don't know, but they were rock hard. If you hit somebody with it, they'll crack their head. It was so hard. And Casper ate that because he was hungry. And I felt so bad feeding him that. It was horrible. Because we try to give him fresh food. Even if I freeze something, I make it myself and I know it's healthy and this and that. But yeah, the dietary requirements, I don't know. So many people kept calling and asking us, so how are you going? This and that. And we would complain and complain. And trust me, I yelled at a couple of people because I was just losing my mind. My pregnancy vitamins were running out, and I had asked them the day that we came there, and literally like
The day before we left.
a couple of days before we left when I got the packet, and then they gave us another packet. I'm like, okay, I'll accept it because they're expensive, but I'm like really running out. Every day I'm calling saying, hey, I have like 2 pills left. Hey, I have 1 pill left. So yeah, eventually.
They waited till the 1 pill thing.
Yeah, they waited until the last moment. And
They did bring us a pregnancy test kit.
Yeah.
When we said we were pregnant and she needs the vitamins, they sent us a pregnancy test kit.
Apparently another
It was someone
quarantine
else.
couple
Yeah.
was actually pregnant and wanted to test it. So they gave us their pregnancy test. I don't know if they gave her my vitamins.
Yeah, probably. Go ahead, have the vitamins. You probably might be pregnant.
Yeah. And because I was pregnant, I was nauseous. And they sent this lemon risotto or something. Oh my god. It was disgusting. Like, I tasted the tiniest bit of that and I just barfed. I was done. And after that, I just couldn't eat anything at all. And I was just literally eating like white bread. That was it. Food wasn't provided by the hotel. It was provided by the government. And they obviously picked the cheapest thing to give to us. I mean, I appreciate that they didn't charge us anything. You know, as taxpayers, obviously we were paying for it in some way. But, you know, it was nice not to pay, you know, at that time, but we were actually willing to pay for food. and we kept asking for Uber Eats or something. And the day before our quarantine finished, they approved Uber Eats.
They have a lot of communication issues with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we kept getting calls about the same thing at least 3 times a day.
Yeah. And at like 10 p.m., they'll call to ask how our temperature is. Like,
That was the COVID testing.
yeah, that was the only COVID test they did, by the way. They didn't do any other testing. They just called us to ask if our temperature is okay. It's not like we had like, temperature checking monitors. We would just be like, yeah, it's fine. Like, we feel okay. No sore throat, nothing. Yeah, that was it. What else was there? The day before the last day, they also said if you want to go out for fresh air, you can. And I took the chance because I was getting really depressed. And they were like, all of us wanted to go, but then Casper wouldn't wear a mask. I mean, can you really expect a 2-year-old to wear a mask? And that lady was like, yeah, no, if he's not going to wear a mask, then he can't go. I'm like, okay, we can't leave him there. So he stayed with him. He's like, I don't really care for fresh air. The day before we leave, you can go get it. And I went out for like 5 minutes, and it was so good to get some fresh air. It was cold breeze by the river, and it was amazing. But it was literally like a jail. Just everything was covered and blah, blah, blah. And people looking at me like, what is this maniac doing?
Wearing gloves and a mask.
Yeah, gloves and a mask and the whole thing. So yeah, for activities, they gave Casper some kiddie toys to play with, and we did have TV, but then the TV kept shutting off and had numerous issues with it. The AC made my skin super dry and raw, and I did talk about this in my skincare video as well. And I get nosebleeds in the winter anyway. My nose was stuffy, like really stuffy, with just clogged up blood. It was so bad.
Yep.
It was terrible. And we lost a couple of items that they were going to do the laundry for. A couple of my pajama stuff. What else was happening?
What else was interesting? Oh, they couldn't figure out how or what to do with our return tickets. The ticket that was supposed to be reissued or sorted out by whoever was there at the airport. But yeah, in the end they said, oh, there's nothing we can do.
Because when we were coming from the airport, we said several times to several officers, hey, we have a domestic ticket already booked. Since we can't go, are you able to cancel it for us? They're like, no, just keep walking.
So, yeah, they all said it'll be sorted out. Don't worry about it. Someone will come and sort it out for you.
Yeah. No, nobody sorted it out.
Yeah.
We had several phone numbers. We called everybody, and everyone was like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's all being handled. He was talking to so many people and like yelling at them eventually because nothing was getting done. And yeah, we lost our money basically.
Yeah, in the end, Qantas said, you should have just called us the day you arrived.
Yeah.
Wasn't there someone to do that for you? Because if that was the case, we could have extended it or given you Qantas points or something for it. Yeah, well, that was a loss.
It was a loss. And the ticket that we had before we came, that was a loss. We lost a lot of money with that. But it doesn't matter. We were safe, and we were happy to do the quarantine as long as the food was okay. It just didn't. To me, I love hanging out with my husband and my son. Like it's like
it was wonderland for you.
It was amazing for me. That's all I want to do 24/7. If my boys are with me, I'd be like very happy. And yeah, it didn't bother me at all that we had a toddler there. He was, oh my gosh, let's talk about him a little bit. Being a 2-year-old, that was a test on him. But do you want to say how he was?
He was really nice. He was calm.
So
he was
surprising.
calm.
Yeah.
He's always active and running and everything, but he was calm that 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the
But,
whole drive from Melbourne to Brisbane.
oh wait, we're not up to that yet. He was calm. He was really calm. He watched TV, played with his toys, and then they would do like silly things. And it was really funny, just hanging out, and then me and him would just crawl around pretending to be elephants. Like, it was all these silly little games. And then because it was Melbourne and we had this giant window, the glass gets really cold, so I told him to make his tummy cold and then lift up his shirt. So every morning he just wanted to get up onto the windowsill and then just put his belly onto the glass, and he would love it.
He still does it.
He still does it. He just loves it. It's so cute. So we were just finding like cute little things to do, and he was really good. But you could see at certain points he was bored out of his mind.
Yeah, he would just go to the door and say, let's go out.
Yeah.
Like, or go have tea or something, but yeah.
Yeah. He would try like, when the people come and deliver food, they just put it outside the door and then knock. And then we wait for them to leave and then we open the door and get it. Casper like waits to run out. It was so funny. But yeah, he was being such a good boy. Like for a 2-year-old, he did amazing. And we were trying to scare him because he would scream at night, and it was a hotel, like other people are there, and
They're trying to sleep as well.
yeah, it's horrible. So we would try to say like, no, police is out there. They're gonna come and get you. And he'd be like, police uncle, can I come? Can we go? Baby's coming. He actually wanted to go with them. I'm like, this trick's not working.
It did not work. He just,
No.
take me.
Yeah, I'm waiting to go out. Like, why aren't you taking me? Anyway, so that was our whole experience. There wasn't much going on anyway, just chilled. And it's a great thing for early pregnancy, I want to say. Like, if the circumstances were right and the food was good, it was the most relaxing time ever.
The food didn't have to be great.
No,
Just
edible.
a bit good,
Yeah, better than like some seasoning would have been nice.
Like aubergine parmesan.
Oh my god, don't even remind me. It was the most disgusting thing ever. It was slimy as hell. Ugh, it was disgusting. I couldn't eat eggplant for like few months, right? Just like the other week I was able to eat a little bit, but oh god, it was disgusting. It was so bad.
Yeah, good thing we had parents and everyone to call, and
Yeah.
there's all video calls going on.
Yeah, all day, every day. We were calling my family, his family, it was just, yeah.
And the time difference was great because of that.
Yeah.
They would still be awake in Sri Lanka when we are trying to go to sleep, and we couldn't fall asleep, and we had someone to talk to.